Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Wild Wednesday. First and foremost, before I roll on to anything, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Please do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yes, I have bumped it down to just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm not doing any videos, or at least right now I am not. I may come in and do some different things for Tuesday and Thursday, maybe do some top 10s of my favorite stuff, or just show off some of my random releases I have or hanging out around the house, something like that. I don't know if you guys are interested in anything like that. I know a couple of you have been asking me to do an overview of the movies I have in my collection, which eventually I will do a complete overview. It'll be fun to do something like that, but for now I'm not going to, because I need to finish setting up everything and get it in a nice orderly fashion before I can even attempt to do anything, because as you can always see up here, I got constant stacks up here that I'm going through up here, so it's not like I'm constantly putting the stuff in the collection, I got stuff sitting here, and here, typical collector. Anyways, let's get back on to and then one last thing, check out the information in the description box for more information on your daily film, such as your brief synopsis, your starring cast, your runtime of the cut I am watching, your director, your MPAA rating, if there is one that exists, which most of the time there isn't going to be one, some trivia if I find anything worthwhile of mentioning, and then a link for either a trailer or a scene from the movie itself. So I give you a little bit bigger of a bite in there, so hopefully it'll help you decide if you want to check it out or not, stream it, track down a copy, do whatever it is you do to watch the movies that I give you my silly little opinions on about. Yes, now that I got all that out of the way, let's roll on to the movie of the day. Today's came out back in 1996, 2006. I almost made it 10 years older than what it is, but 2006, I didn't think it was that old. It is none other than Uwe Boll's Seed. This is a very interesting movie, one that I don't recommend really to many people. I think a lot of my B-movie connoisseurs might like this one more, especially the people that like Uwe Boll films. I actually am a fan of Uwe, Seed, Stoic, Attack on Darfur. I kind of have a soft spot for House of the Dead. Yes, you heard me say that, House of the Dead. I am one of the very few people in the world that probably is entertained by that movie. It's not good. I will admit that it's not good, but it is entertaining as hell. Stoic and Seed, I would say, are his two best films, or the two that I like the most. Attack on Darfur is one that is, it's an action drama type movie. I definitely recommend that one for people that want a nice, good action film that's kind of similar to Hotel Rwanda. Check out Attack on Darfur. That's a very good one. So definitely don't think that Uwe Boll is nothing but video game adaptations and horrible movies. The guy actually has some good stuff in his filmography. The guy worked on the Profane Exhibit, which I cannot wait for that one to get a release finally, because I've been wanting to see it for years now, along with everybody else. Anyways, now that I got all that out of the way, let's get on to what this movie is, or like the specs of the movie itself. Like I said, this came out in 2006. It is, what is this release from here? I have no clue who this release is even from, but it is a standard issue pressed DVD, and it comes with a free game, Advent Rising, which I have no idea what the hell that even is. I don't really care. It is zero reversible artwork on this one. As far as special features go, you do get a deleted scenes gallery, which is it just has like an extended deleted scene that wasn't in the movie itself, which I'm glad it wasn't, because it made our killer look very cartoonish and hokey in ways, even though the killer was kind of hokey. I'm not gonna lie, our killer Max Seed in this is not a very good villain. The movie itself, though, I do enjoy. And what else did we have in there for special features? Oh, there's a behind the scenes featurette that goes over one of the main scenes in the movie of when Max Seed himself is executed on the electric chair. This is set in the 70s, by the way. 1979, I believe, is what it was set. He was sentenced to death in the electric chair for killing 666 people. Yes, folks, I said that. 666 people is what the original script called for. Even in the trailer, they even say that. And I think even on this cover box somewhere, they even say it as well. But either way, that is why he is sentenced to death. He is essentially this hulking of a maniac serial killer that what he does is he stalks and slashes his victims, and he tortures them in various ways, like you get all these weird videos of him starving these different animals and a baby and a grown woman to death, and how long it takes for their bodies to decompose and basically turn back into nothing. How long it takes for them for that, and the time spans it goes on that, because it was like it starts out with I think a cockroach or something like that, and when it dies, it however long it took, I think it was like 30 days or something like that. And then it moves on to a rat, and then unfortunately a dog, and then unfortunately a baby. And then eventually when it gets to the adult, you're just like, whatever. You should have did the adult before the dog and the baby, and I wouldn't. And, the dog and the baby would have had a little more impact, in my opinion. Because, nobody wants to see our pets or our babies being harmed. And not unless you're me and you like Serbian film and you like to see babies get raped. I don't know. I kid, I don't like to see babies get raped, but I do like that film. It's a very good one. Has nothing to do with this one, but either way. What is this one exactly about? Like I was bringing up before, it's about a serial killer who killed 666 people. He taunts his victims by torturing them through various mental and physical ways of torturing them, like both mentally and physically. Like there's a scene where he goes through and he pops this lady in the head over and over and over again with a giant hammer. And it's a very interesting scene because it shows how twisted our Max Seed character really is, and it also shows how far Uwe Boll was willing to push the boundaries when it came to this movie, because he really pulled no punches and pushed the boundaries, because you start off right away with some very, very, very shocking footage. You get to see, unfortunately, some Peta propaganda tapes at the very beginning of this, which is very heartbreaking stuff to watch. I personally, I would rather watch real gore any day of the week over Peta propaganda tapes, because they are meant to make you sick and make you hate society and hate other people. And I don't really want to have that feeling in my heart and my soul. I just don't. They're sickening tapes, but either way, you got that right away at the very beginning, so it lets you know what kind of grimy ass crap you're about to get yourself dragged through. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie is not quite as brutal in that aspect, which I'm thankful for, because I didn't want any more of the Peta propaganda tapes. I didn't want any more of that stuff, because it's heartbreaking. But you can show a baby getting starved to death and then watch it rot and go away and corrode away. You can watch that and not care, Matt, can you? No, yeah. That's just how it is, because the difference is the PETA propaganda tapes are real. That's the real big difference, is it's real animal abuse shit going on. Sick. Either way, so this Seed character, when he is taken to be put to sleep, essentially, there's this whole law that if you survive the electric chair after 3 attempts, you're let go. They go after 2 attempts, he's still alive. They decide to say hush hush, like oh yeah, he's dead, and then they go bury him alive type ordeal. Mr. Seed finds his way out of there, as we all knew he would, and he goes on a killing spree, and he goes through and he kills everybody who essentially set him up for that failure at the electric chair. The warden, the doctor, the guy that pulled the switch himself, down to our another character played by Michael Pare, who is our main character, who is a detective who has a wife and smaller child at home. And he is constantly haunted with what he had to go through to get this Max Seed character, and to and what essentially happened with his execution, because it's something that is definitely bearing down on his guilt, and it makes him feel like a bad person, essentially, one of those kind of ordeals. So it definitely it packs a punch when it's trying to get you to humanize and every person in this movie, even our serial killer. It does try to humanize him in certain aspects. It does make you feel bad for him, like, oh hey, they're just gonna go bury this dude alive. That's kind of messed up, and what essentially happens is we're treated to different various people being slaughtered. Like I said, you get a wicked hammer scene, which goes on a little too long in my opinion. It's got some kind of bad CGI rolling throughout this movie. Some okay acting to throw in there. Michael Pare is probably your best actor. We Will Sanderson played our Max Seed character. We got Ralf Moeller in there, played our warden. He was kind of fun character. Jodelle Ferland plays Michael Pare's daughter, and she does a very good job in there. We got Thea Gill playing his wife, and then Andrew Jackson playing our doctor. So we got a various cast of people that I've seen in other Uwe Boll films. A little bit of a who's who when it comes to his stuff, which I kind of like. I kind of like some of the other films that I didn't mention of Uwe. Oh, Postal is a funny one. That Postal's hilarious. Either way, as far as any kind of thing, anything else would go with this, I don't want to tell you any more big details, other than it's going to probably piss you off in places. I'm not going to lie, not just because of the PETA tapes. The movie it's very provoking in ways, and that's what I think I like about it, is it really pushes your buttons. And it's hard. It's never, you never see anybody say, hey, you know what about Seed? Seed's kind of a fucked up movie, let's talk about Seed. Like, everybody talks about all the other stuff, but they never bring this one up. I think it needs to be brought up a little more often, in my opinion. Now, as far as any kind of ratings would go, on the technical side, it's okay. Like I said, there's bad CGI. The acting is okay. Michael Pare is our best character. Him and Jodelle, his daughter, are the best characters in the whole movie. What else do we got going on? There is a lot of blood, which is good. That helps. It's a mixture of CGI blood and real blood. it works a little better than most of these that have the mixture of both together, but it still is almost cartoonish in ways. So that's one place where I think it will piss people off, is because of how cartoonish it gets in places. It's almost like a comic book, you know. You're like opening up a graphic novel, and you're seeing Max C do these despicable things to people. It's an interesting movie. So on a 1 through 10 scale, I'm going to give this thing a 4 out of 10. It could have been much better, could have been much worse. I think this is one of the better horror films that Uwe has gotten his hands on. It could almost be a 5 if it wasn't for I think the Peta tapes bring it down. I think you could kick that shit to the curb and it would be a much better movie, in my opinion. Not that I'm all about censoring shit, but because I'm not about to do that, because that's just evil. Either way, you know, I'll just fast forward through that part. Either way, love your faces. See you tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but Friday. I'm not 100% what I got lined up for you, as I always say, but, you know, there's always that magical thing I also always say. Love your faces.